Have you wondered if you're actually being underpaid? Maybe you're 26 years old making $60,000, or maybe you're making over $100,000 and you wonder if that's still a good salary. I know that I used to always compare myself to friends, people online, and some of my coworkers. But the problem is that these random conversations that you have don't actually paint the whole picture. So today, we're going to look at real numbers directly from Statistics Canada to see exactly how much Canadians earn at every single stage of life. And I guarantee that at least one of these groups is going to surprise you. If you're between the ages of 15 and 24, don't worry if you're not making a lot of money yet. The average salary of ages between 15 and 24 is $20,900, and the median is $15,700. Most people are still in high school, college, university, or maybe just finished working some apprenticeships and just entering the workforce. You're probably working part-time in retail, restaurants, grocery stores, or just some entry-level job that you found. But you're figuring out what you actually want to do in your life. This stage of life isn't about becoming wealthy. It's about investing in yourself. The goal should be to build your communication skills, learn how to work with people, and network with others to try and figure out exactly what you might want to do later on in your life. To be brutally honest, nothing's going to be perfect here. You're going to be trying out different jobs, or you might even start a small side hustle. But these skills that you're developing are worth a lot more than the paycheck that you're earning today. Before showing the salary for ages 25 to 34, I want you to take a guess. Do you think that the average Canadian between ages 25 to 34 earn more than $50,000 or maybe even $70,000? So the average Canadian between ages 25 and 34 make $57,200 and the median is $49,600. By this stage, you've probably graduated from school and you're starting to build your career. Maybe you've bounced around to a few places and tried out some new jobs, but you're slowly starting to build your future and you're trying to figure out what you want to do. You might be looking to buy your first home, you might be looking to get married, maybe even starting a family. But you should also be looking at investing for your retirement. Even just a small contribution that you can make when you don't have these large expenses in your life can make a big difference later on. This age range is probably going to be one of the most expensive years of your life because you're going to have a mortgage, you're going to have wedding expenses. If you have kids, those cost a lot of money. Before we move on, you've probably realized that the average salary is quite a bit higher than the median salary. And here's why. Imagine you have a group of 10 people standing in front of you. The first 9 earn $60,000 a year, and number 10 at the end earns $1.5 million. The average will actually tell you that each person makes over $200,000 a year. But we know that's really not true because if 9 of them make $60,000 and the CEO at the end makes $1.5 million, that's kind of way off. But if we look at the median for this, the median is actually $60,000. Because what the median is you line up everybody from smallest to largest and you pick the 1 or 2 people in the middle. So if there's 2 people in the middle, you add them together and you divide it by 2. There's 1 person in the middle, they're the chosen one, and that's the median income. The next age group is 35 to 44. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think that Canadians in their mid to late 30s and early 40s earn more than $80,000 a year? Well, if you said no, you're right. The average salary for ages 35 to 44 is $77,200 and the median salary is $63,800. So again, we can see a big difference now between the average and the median, and it's actually getting bigger as we go on in time. Hopefully now, all of the hard work that you've put in during your 20s is actually starting to pay off. You've probably gained a lot of valuable experience, and maybe you jumped around to a few companies and you found one that you actually really like, and they've given you a higher salary. Or maybe you've stuck with the same company you've been at for 15 years now, and you've worked your way up into a senior management role. Either way, you're probably doing really well. Many households now are going to be dual income households. So you and a spouse are going to be making hopefully more than the average and median income because that's where your wealth will really start to snowball. If you're investing consistently during this age range, this is where your wealth will start to snowball and you'll start to see a lot more growth over time. The next section is ages 45 to 54. People assume that this is probably where your income is going to slowly start to come down. But in reality, the average income is $84,100 and the median income is $65,800. So again, we can see that spread between the average and median really start to grow. For most Canadians, these are the absolute highest earning years of their careers. You've probably built decades of experience, you're near the top of your pay scale, and your kids might actually be in college or maybe they've even moved out by now. So you can start saving even more each month. This is where you might start thinking a lot more about your retirement. And the big question shifts from, can I make more money, to have I saved enough? The next section we're going to look at is ages 55 to 64. And here's where things begin to change. The average income is $70,200 and the median income is $53,300. At this stage in life, many Canadians end up reducing their workload. Some of them might look to retire early, some might start working part-time, others might even take up some consulting so they can kind of just work whenever they want. Unfortunately though, many people are still working because they need the money, not because they actually want to. And that's why investing early on in life matters so much more than you think. Because when you get to the later stages in life, you want to be able to do exactly what you want and most likely not work. The earlier that you start, the more freedom you'll have later on. And that's why I always emphasize to invest as early as possible. And the last and final section is ages 65 plus. Hopefully this is the age where you start to see all of your rewards for your years and years of hard working. The average income is $55,200 and the median income is $39,200. If everything went according to plan, this is usually when most Canadians end up retiring. They'll start wanting to spend more time with their family, maybe do some traveling, and hanging out with your grandchildren. Most of your income at this point probably either comes from a retirement savings account you have, some social benefits like CPP and OAS, or maybe some cash you have hiding under your mattress. But at this stage, your investments should be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So are you ahead or are you average? Or maybe you might even be a little bit behind. Either way, don't let these numbers define your financial future. Remember that your salary is not actually your wealth. I've met people who make $60,000 a year and have higher net worth than people that make $200,000 a year. Income will help, but what you do with that income matters a lot more. If you consistently invest, avoid unnecessary debt, and give your money time to grow, you can build some incredible wealth, whether you're above, below, or at the average salary. And if you want to see how much Canadians are actually worth, not just what they earn, I made another video breaking down the average net worth for Canadians, and I'll link to that below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. And if there were some age ranges that surprised you with what they earn, leave a comment down below. I'm posting personal finance and investing content twice a week to help you build wealth. Thanks for watching.